Okay, so profile management in Citrix. But before that, the usual reminders and some advertisement from the sponsors. No, just kidding. So, troubleshoot your environment and try your best to really work on your environment. This is the time to work. Later, when the course finishes, you will have no incentive to work. I'm pushing you now to please have your environment up and running, work on that, and try to do all the labs and really engage me in whatever your troubleshooting you're doing. Like some students are doing still now, whatever problem is coming, they are really following up with the that. So with me, and I'm trying to give all the solutions, and don't be shy to ask. So try to be on top of this and get your labs up and running and keep it up latest up to whatever labs we have done till now. This is the time you can do it and keep your interest high for all the practical practical labs, step by step labs that we are doing. This is later you will just won't have time. I mean, this is the time, use it, engage me if you're stuck in anything. Okay, so um, important for your career is, are you sending screenshots, even one screenshot of the end product where you have finished the lab. Just show the end configuration of one screenshot. Many students are sending lots of screenshots. It's for their own career. They're taking it very very seriously, although others are also taking seriously, but creating screenshots is good for your career. And then also, are you preparing for the exam? Need exam sources? Let me know. I've sent I've showed the links in previous video as well for the exam resources and examcollection.com website to download this that special link. And also, if you guys, so now, let's go for profile management. Uh, and this is very important topic. Uh, it's all about, of course, users are connecting to the XenApp environment, Citrix environment, and they're connecting actually in hundreds, and in large environments even thousands. So there is that knowledge that we need to have about how, when the user logs in, how does the process go, what, when the user logs in, is there a profile, if there's a profile, what is a profile anyway. A set of folders, like there's favorites, there is also documents. And if we go there and log in, so if I just open this if I just open this Windows Explorer, so documents, pictures, videos, if we allow all these folders, downloads, so all these folders, and then favorites of the Internet Explorer, the browser, so they are added in the profile, right? And then we get that profile management to work. So what is going on when a user is logging in with different types of profiles configured? So anyone knows what is roaming profile and mandatory profile? So user profiles is, what is this? So I'm just gonna get back to that. Then we're gonna be quickly even seeing a quick lab, because profile management is one of the crucial aspects of the Citrix environment, and it heavily depends on the Windows environment for it to work. So we need to know also Windows profiles, profile management, and what types of profiles Windows support, Windows environment support. So user profiles, a user profile consists of the following elements: a registry hive, a set of profile folders stored in the file system. So all the registry settings that have been done regarding those documents and favorites and whatever changes we have made are actually stored in the registry. And all the folders that are loaded when the users open a session with Citrix. But if we understand the profiles itself, then we can understand how to handle them in Citrix. So there are these types of profiles. Profile types include, well, local user profiles, mandatory user profiles, and well, Citrix profile manager just comes, but hey, where's that roaming profile? Come on. Um, so roaming profile I can add, and I think there was some mistake that I actually deleted it by mistake, I guess. So roaming user profile, which is also used. So there's all those profiles, but how do they work, and what difference does the Citrix profile manager makes? And then there are third-party profiles as well from different companies. Um, so local user profile, it stores user settings on the server connected, and anything saved, any changes are saved locally. Any changes made are saved locally. Those locally stored profiles are cleaned up as well to save space. So what's going on here? If we go for this diagram, so these are Citrix servers, and these are the client machines, suppose. So the users are trying to uh, open a session on the Citrix XenApp servers. So it's XenApp servers. And so there is okay. So a local profile. What will happen? A local profile. Suppose the user has actually connected to this XenApp server, not this one, second one, and the user session or the user profile will be saved locally here on this server. Suppose in a big environment, suppose the roaming profile and mandatory profiles are not configured, any one of them is not configured, local profile is just working fine. So what happens is that the local profile, when the session is connected, the user profiles are also saved locally here as well. And if there are hundreds of users, then of course it is the job of the system administrator or Citrix administrator to run a script that would just clean up all the locally stored profiles. So it also happen, but this is what happens in local profile. All the changes made, so the user connected to this server made changes to his or her favorites or wallpaper, background, added some documents. Maybe the documents, there's a Z drive that is made available to all the users, which is actually connected to some third file server. If the user does not save there anything, maybe the user starts a document and just saves it on the desktop. Normally there is a Z drive and users are instructed to save there, which is actually storing the user setting on the remote shared folder. But what happens is that whatever user has saved or stored or made changes, when the user logs off and logs in the second day to the other server here, those settings will not be there, right? So, and the user profile, if the user second day also logs in here, okay, the locally stored profile might be accessed, and the user might see the yesterday's change, but it's not the case. It's not guaranteed that the user will be logging into the same server the next day as well, especially in bigger environments. If there are 50 or 60 servers, there's definitely no guarantee that this will happen. So local profile is a no-no anyway. But what about the roaming profile? Roaming profile saves all the settings, uh, you know, on a remote server where the path of the that server has been given. So when the user logs in from a roaming profile, so a roaming profile saves all the folders as well as all the changes, background, whatever you put in the folder. It saves it to a remote file server, wherever that file server is, it saves it there. So when the user logs off, the all the changes the user has made are saved or initiated or uploaded to that remote location. And when second day the user logs in, suppose from the second server, those all the changes from the previous day are downloaded to the user profile, and the user all the changes are exactly the same because the changes are being secured on a remote file server, right? So whatever the user make changes now today and logs off, those changes are again saved to the same remote server, and so the changes are saved there and retrieved from there. So the user the changes goes with the user wherever the user logs in, hence this roaming profile. We're gonna briefly also quickly configure a roaming profile in our Windows environment as well, just for a refresher, and then get to know what is the Citrix environment really working on, because it's the Windows environment that Citrix is working on, but how the Windows environment is configured. So we can take an example of one configuration for one user for a roaming profile to see it. Then there is that mandatory profile. So this is, a user cannot make any changes, or if the user does, so the user connects with the mandatory profile with any of the server, and the user tries to make any change, but what happens is that it's this profile does not save any changes. As soon as the user logs off from here, uh, all the changes are discarded. The second day when the user logs in from any other server or XenApp server, that same fixed mandatory profile is there. It is we can say locked down profile, that you could just lock down to certain settings in the profile, that document folder and some other folders. All the folders are there, but you cannot make any changes to those folders, or those changes will not be saved when the user logs off. So when the user logs in, there is profile, the full user folders, all those sets of folders are downloaded to the user session. But when the user logs off, nothing is uploaded to any remote environment, remote file server. So it is the locked down version, mandatory profile. Roaming profile is, it saves everything, hence this one takes a lot of network bandwidth and also CPU. So but the changes are initiated, or the upload and download of the roaming profile is initiated when the user logs in. The profile is downloaded from the remote server. When the user logs off, the profile settings, whatever changes the user has made, are uploaded back to that remote servers and saved there, right? And the local profile is that when the user logs in, the changes are saved locally, and if the user logs into the second server, it's a new profile for the user, so no changes are roaming with the user or coming with the user. It's just a local profile that the user is using. So, and then the server also gets a lot of if the local profile is stored here, whichever profile is loaded is stored locally, there's a huge disk space problem as well, that is always need to be cleared with the scripts you can put there. there are scripts that can identify, or you can just put in the script that, hey, do not delete the administrator profile, locally saved administrator profile. Suppose administrator logs in there, and you do need that for different certain reasons. So it will just delete everything else other than default profile and administrator profile. I will just quickly also try to get a roaming profile up and running, because on top of this, the Citrix profile management is going on. Then we're going to go for what is Citrix profile management. So if I just go to the Active Directory here, what I'm doing here is, which should be quick, that this is the Active Directory, and I have a user, or I'll just create a new user. So the steps will be that I'm just trying to configure a roaming profile, so then we are going to see the difference as well in the Windows environment. What's going on is that I'll create a new user, and then I will also, first I'll create a new user, then create a folder on the server, a shared folder, create a shared folder. Okay guys, kids again, really, this is okay guys, give me a second, sorry. So I'm just quickly going to create a shared folder for that on the server, on the Active Directory, and then the only thing to do is in the user, only thing to do here is the user settings must have that / link in the proper places, and that's what we need to know. Then when I log in and make any changes and log off, we're gonna see that, that's how it is working. Okay, roaming profile, and then we're gonna see how the Citrix profile management is working, or what's so different about that, the Windows roaming profile cannot offer, or is a little better than, not little, a lot better than, because Citrix is all about giving the perfect optimized session to all the users remotely connected to any of the XenApp servers. If Citrix is not able to offer an optimized environment, a user-friendly environment, an environment that does not freeze up on the users, then there's no benefit of Citrix. So I'm just gonna quickly, I'll create a new user, create a shared folder, and then I'll give the link for that user, and then I'm gonna log off and log in, and you will see that there's a new profile created for that user, which will be the roaming profile, right? So this will really help in getting to understand how basically the profiles are working, and then how the Citrix profile management is a bit different. So if I go to Citrix domain controller, just the domain controller, and I'll just create a profile called user profiles, and inside, so let me first show you what the user profile really saves there. So I'm opening the Active Directory, users and computers there, creating quickly a new user, although I have a user 03, but it has been logged in a lot with the local profile on my client. So user 04, I'm just quickly creating that. Next, oops, I have user 04 as well. I think I created a lot of users 5. Yep, okay, so if I go and create that, finish, so user 05, if I go to the profile here, there is that user profile or profile path that has to be given there, and there's a local path. Well, this is, inside of this we can have this connect Z drive, which means that Z drive will be showing which will give a path to that user, to that remote file server, whichever file server is in the environment where the user, this is optional extra drive that the user will see under my computer, that where the users are normally instructed to save their files. And instead of saving it on the desktop, instead of saving it locally wherever they're logged in from, profile path and user path. So what I will do is I'll just put that profile path one folder and give the path of that folder, and home folder as the second folder I'm going to create there, just to coincide with the name user profile. So I'm just going to create two folders here, profile path and user or and home folder. So it becomes a little longer link. Otherwise these are shown or are available there on the root as well, but I just put it in a separate folder. So I'm just sharing the home folder now to specific people in our private environment. I'm just sharing it with everyone, and read and write, although it should be readable, read only, so we don't make, well, no, it should be okay with read and write. So I'm just gonna go for everyone, add, read write. So what I'm doing right now is I've created two folders and shared it. I created a user. What I want to do is to enable a roaming profile for that user. So if I log in from first computer and do some work and log off, as soon as I log off, there should be a folder with that username created in the profile path, which is empty right now, and there should be a folder created with that user name, because I'm going to save something here as well, in a home folder as well, which is empty right now, right? So this is created and shared. So if I just go and check Citrix domain, I think its name is Citrix DC. Yeah, Citrix DC. So I'm just gonna go run and check the folders there. What am I doing? / Citrix DC, enter. Profile path is there, home folder is there. So these are the links. So I'm just gonna minimize that. Close this. I don't need it right now. Close, minimize. So Active Directory. Users and computers, double click. All we need to do is put the name of the server. So I'm just going to copy the whole thing here, which user profiles path, not the local one but the network one. So this is for the home folder. So home folder, okay, and of course the same for this, but it's gonna be different. Oh, of course not same, sorry. Home folder and profile path, it's different. Control C. So profile path here, / and the environment variable of %username %. The benefit is that as soon as we click apply, it's going to detect that, oh, this is user 05. But if I put the same this line to every user back there, it's going to detect all, this same line will detect the current user or the user to which we put that line in this profile tab, in these areas. So I'm just putting there here as well, %username %. So Control C, Notepad, just to get that here. So I'm just going to do it once more and to all the other users, just to also make sure that if we had to experiment that later as well. So click apply here. I did not logged in from user 5 till now, so apply. It detected that user 5. Here's this. So if I want to do it with user 1 2 3 4, I hope it doesn't disrupt my profile path, and go for tab, go for profile path here, Control C. So now all users should have the Z drive created, Control C, apply. Okay. Go to any random user profile path. Okay, detected it. Perfect. So I'm just gonna log off, login from user 05, and this is the network path here. Or if we just go locally, these in the user profiles, these are the folders right now which already they should be empty actually right now. They have created there, and profile path is empty. Yeah, so folders have been created in the home folder but not in the profile path, right? I think so. I'm just gonna go to Citrix no, this Windows 7, and just log off and log in just to check if the roaming profile is working. So let's go ahead then with the Citrix profile management as well, and what does it really do actually, and how it's different. So Citrix domain, I don't have to write this because I'm not using administrator account, which is also in local available. So user 05. So I'm logging in now. It should be creating a well, when I log off, then it should be creating a profile path there with all the folders, or the whole profile should be copied there when I log off. So, and I'll just also when it logs in, so you can see also that it's taking time, right? So this should be the roaming profile working. I don't want to configure that now. And what I need to do is just create a quick rich text file, test1, and I'll just copy. I'll put it in the on the desktop as well as in the computer. And this is the network location. The home folder is showing now. It is supposed to be showing. And for this user, there should be a test1 saved for user 05 on this server, because this is working as our home folder, remote home folder. So if I log off now, I've done some whatever changes or did not do any changes. Log off. So profile path, yeah, so under user profiles, home folder, and this was user 5. This is the test file that it's saved there, and profile path, now see there was nothing there. Now there's user 05, and administrator is normally not allowed to log in, but hey, we are administrators, right? You have been denied permission. So I just wanted to see what folders were created for the profile, and we would know that. So I'm gonna go to properties and go to security advanced and owner, edit, and the administrator. So of course I should be able to, so replace ownership, apply. In production environment, please don't try that, right? Because you're not supposed to see people's folders. Okay, so these, look at this profile. I mean, so many folders are created. I mean, the whole profile is created here. I saved on the desktop this test1, so desktop is saved here. Downloads, I didn't do anything. Favorites, links, my documents. We can do user redirection with group policy. We can really try to tighten this up, or just redirect these folders to somewhere else, or remove some of the folders there. But what you see now is this is one user that logged in and logged off from Windows environment. So suppose there are 500 users or 1000 users or 10,000 users right now connecting and disconnecting. So, and if all the folders are supposed to be, or all the folders in the profile are supposed to be saved like this over the network, and maybe they have saved something in downloads, maybe they have saved something in favorites, which is not a lot of, it doesn't take a lot of space, but my documents, pictures, and music, whatever. So all these take the profile becomes bigger and bigger unless you use quotas, right? So they become bigger and bigger. So now 500 users or 1000 users or 10,000 users are logging in. You really need to make sure that you are connecting, you are really trying to make the Citrix environment really optimized for that, because bandwidth is being utilized by all the users who are connecting to the XenApp servers with the roaming profile setting. So the only thing to note here, when the user logs in, all this profile is loaded for the user. When the user logs off, all this profile is again saved to this remote server. So this means the whole thing is initiated at the login and log off of the user. So the bandwidth is heavily being used here, and it happens, and it has been happening, that network bandwidth at peak times could be so much utilized by different applications which are users are trying to access over the network, and by many other types of network traffic, that sometimes the user profile roaming profile does not load, even because it's loading the whole heavy thing here. It does not load sometimes, and the either profile does not load, or the user is logged in with the locally cached profile. So if the user is logged in from the locally cached profile, whatever the user saved here in desktop, favorites, my documents is gone, right? Or it's not loaded, and at that time, and then when the off there's a off peak time is there, or peak time is not there at in the evening when the user logs in, when there is a bandwidth available. So then when user logs in, then all the settings will be uploaded for the user, right? So there's a question there. If we log on as user 5 from Win7, we will be able to see the text file we created from BAM01. Yeah, if we log on now, yeah. So you're saying that okay, let's test it. Is it really a roaming profile? Exactly, we should test it. So if I just log in again, that file should be there, right? Or well, I wanted to actually log in from a second Windows, which I never give the key to, and it's just restarting every half an hour. Okay, if I log in from the second server, roaming is all about, okay, you're talking about MEM01, that if the session is created there, all the settings will be still available for the user. I still want to log in from a second machine just to show that, hey, roaming profile itself is working. Then let's involve Citrix after this. So this is the second machine right now, and I don't know what's user 05. So I'm making sure I'm not logged in from here, although it supports multiple logins, but then it messes up all the whatever was saved and what is not saved. So oops, what did I do? 05. What it's supposed to do is that it should just download all the settings from that DC or the file server and give us that same profile setting. In fact, I should have changed the background and everything. Okay, expired. So it's still logging in or what? Okay, the desktop should be loaded, and it's setting up everything the first time, and if it's working fine as a roaming profile, there should be that file here showing as because it's a roaming profile, so it should just load everything that has been set up. It's still loading. Nope, still loading. You have been logged in with a temporary profile. Okay, that wasn't even a roaming profile. You can access your files and created in this profile will be deleted when you log off. To fix this, log off and try logging on later. Please see the event log for. Okay, the roaming profile never loaded here. There is some problem going on. Maybe this machine is having a problem. And if I log in from this again, well, it is already locally cached as well. This profile is when I log in locally, whichever machine you log into, this profile, a locally cached profile is also created in the C users. This is user 5. Locally, it is locally cached as well right now, right? So there's always a maintenance going on with scripts that whenever the machine logs off, it should delete all the locally cached profiles. But now let's create a Citrix session. What I wanted to check was if we create a okay, now this is another profile. It's not the administrator profile, so I need to get that link from the profile management or Citrix DC. The Internet Explorer still has that. App Center Server Manager role. What I need is that URL because we cannot remember that, and it's a new profile now, so it's not in the there it is. Okay. Copy and get to this, paste, so it should connect to Citrix XenApp 2 or Citrix, what was that, NLB link. Oh, I did not even, yeah, it's there, yeah, receiver's there. Okay, one time we need to just put it to, seriously, Citrix 02 is loaded and should be working fine. Let me just check the services here. Citrix remoting start. If I close, it's still starting, right? Oh, they're licensing. No, sorry. So, okay, maybe the Internet Explorer needs to be added to the site. So what I'm doing is now trying to connect to the session from a roaming profile, but I just wanted to show that how roaming profile works. And if you log in, log off, the whole desktop, all the sets of folders in the profile have to be uploaded and downloaded from the to and from the file server, right? So there could be profile crashes. Actually, one crash just happened here. This may be some other reason, but in peak times this may happen that your roaming profile might crash like this and it would not load anything. Mandatory profiles are like that as well, that you're on a lockdown state, and when you log off, if you have made any changes, and if you've logged off, it's not going to save any changes other than the edge folder. This folder would always be there for that user, and this is just a link to that Citrix that Citrix DC or the file server. So the second machine is just it did not even load the roaming profile. So this kind of problems had been happening in the Citrix environment. But so this is the first time it's loading, so it's taking forever, I guess. Citrix, what was the NLB link? Citrix NLB, oh, it's in the DNS, so let me just quickly grab that. So I'm creating a session here on Citrix XenApp 2, and hopefully it's going to load. And it's just loading there. So Citrix profile management, what is the difference between Citrix profile? Well, it loads here, and we'll check. What I want to check is that if you connect a user, okay, this is a new profile, right? So it's also saying run on websites, run. And for now, if I just want to skip that because it did not catch that it's a totally different user now. And okay, it did, because we already have a receiver for the other user. Okay, so what I'm trying to do now, user 05, I added all the domain users, so any user I create will have a permission to use any application. Citrix domain.local. Okay, so if we log into this user, I just wanted to see if one thing we want to see, because Citrix profile management is not in action or not in place right now. What I want to see now is that it is connected to Citrix mem02 and will try to use any application. Let's see if any application is usable outside. Wants to open allow, and this is a new profile, so it's giving all the messages that a new user sees, but it's opening that application. Does the Citrix profile save a locally cached copy of this user which has just logged in and created a session on Citrix environment or not? Um, Although it's locally, so I'm on Citrix mem2, and okay, we're gonna come down to this. So if I go to C drive and to the users, right now it is connected, but uh, it has not logged off. So I have user 05 connected to Citrix mem2, and it is trying to do some work there. Uh, After we implement the profile management, we're gonna see that some of the things that features that it's supposed to show, but we don't rely on that it's going to show right away, but we need to understand the concepts and how it works and implement it. So I have created that session and am using some of the applications there. They're working fine on Citrix mem2 session. So now if I get off from this session and not log off, so Windows roaming profile in the background for this user is working, but when this user creates a session to a Citrix environment, oh seriously, okay, when this user creates a session in this, right now what we can see is that it had loaded the profile from that remote server. Session creation is still the same as if it was created for a local profile here for administrator, which has no roaming profile right now. It's the same, it's gonna work the same as long as we have the links there. And what I want to see is if I remove the session now, disconnect, and okay, log off. So created a session. Does this information get cached right now, or does this information gets cached later, or do we have to do some extra stuff for the information to be available locally? Right now it did not show that there's an information, but if I go to the computer and go for user 05, it did not create anywhere this session, or so let it find now or try to find. If not, then we're going to keep the session a little longer, so we could see that if there are sessions created on the Citrix environment, how do we handle those as well. So one more thing is that if the local user profiles are there and we get to see that back before we were logging in from user 1, user 2, or user I think 3, users 0, 3 or 4, and user 3 was saved there. So an instance of this is running. So if I go to 02 and open this session, and in the users, I never logged in locally from user 3, but user 3 is showing there. I always logged in from domain administrator. I use these two accounts normally, so those sessions are still locally saved here, and see the whole full set of folders here that are saved. So you're seeing that all folders are loaded from the file server to the Citrix server, and locally the Citrix server also caches if the session is long enough. The whole profile is cached there as well, right? But I just disconnected that, and user 5 should be showing only there. Why am I even looking across everywhere? So just a user in the user session, if it is long enough, it's going to create that. We just need to give it a little time. So what I want to say here is that if the local user profiles were connected, they were cached, Roaming user profiles are there. The user makes the changes, and when they log out, all the changes are stored on a remote network share. We just saw that. Then these changes are again loaded when the user logs in again. So what it doesn't do, this one, doesn't copy any changes during the course of the session until user initiates a log off. So when the user logs off, only and only then you see that all the folders, whatever changes were made, and all the folders are uploaded to that remote file server. There's that difference that we're going to see in the Citrix profile management. It could lead to profile corruptions as well if heavy amount of folders or the profile size is big, so it does crash. And so it used to happen a lot in our environment until then, and then we decided to make all the permanent users as local user profiles, so they don't have to log in from roaming profiles, because they can save it locally, and they have also the Z drive to save all their stuff, so they don't need their desktop to be saved and favorites. They can save it locally. If local user profile is there, then everything is saved locally, right, on that local computer. So for permanent employees, we gave that. So roaming user profiles, what it doesn't do is it does not copy during the course of the session when the user is logged in. Mandatory user profiles is this is a lockdown profile. It has to load profile for user when the user logs in, but does not have to save any changes, if any, when the user logs out. Okay, mandatory profile. We never had to put that in our environment. So what does Citrix Profile Manager does? When the user logs into a Citrix server, the changes are saved over the network as they happen and does not wait for the user to log off. So the changes has to be sent to the remote profile shares. So what is going on is the changes are, as soon as the changes are made, they are being uploaded to that file server instead of the whole thing being uploaded when the user initiates a log off. So when the user logs in the profile manager, it does not load all the profile, but instead creates pointers for all the files that may be needed. When the files are double clicked, just like you have a published application, the files are loaded from the network share. So what's going on here right now, if we go back to this drawing, the local profile, roaming profile, mandatory profile is there, but if we use that Citrix profile management, so Citrix profile manager or management software. So what is happening here is that just select the that the user tries to log in here. Now when the user starts making changes to the documents, to the favorites, create some more documents and Excel sheets, or do some modifications, because Excel is loading from the Citrix session as a published application. So all these changes are at that particular time being saved in the user profile, which is that folder by the user's name created on the remote file server. In our case, it's on the Active Directory, but it's a separate file server. So as the change is made, it takes a very small bandwidth, right? So a change in Excel saved here, a change in something else, Microsoft Word, saved here. So already bandwidth is not being used a lot. And this does what? When the user logs off, the speed of the log off is much faster. When the user logs in again to any other XenApp server, So all the folders of the profile, so all the folders are loaded, but the files, the documents, files and documents, they are not all downloaded physically to the session. Instead, there are pointers, or stubs, we can call it stubs slash, shortcuts, to the folders, to the files are placed in the user profile. What this makes is, what happens then, what's the benefit of that, why the whole profile with all the files not loaded, instead why the shortcuts of the documents loaded, because then the user profile loads much faster. There are no chances of that if there's a lot of, it's a peak hours and there are so many users connecting, disconnecting, and there's a lot of bandwidth being used on our LAN environment. So at that time, not all the files are loaded physically down to the session. Instead, the pointers or shortcuts are loaded. Suppose you saved yesterday Excel file, and in your documents folder in your profile, and now you double click that file. At that time, only that file will be downloaded. All other files pointers are still there, the same. It looks like, okay, those files are there actually, but they're not there physically. They are not taking up space. They have not been loaded over the network. 4 MB, 2 MB, 3 MB files have not been loaded or downloaded from over the network from that file server. So you can see the benefit. The user session opens fast because they don't have to load all the heavy stuff. The stubs or shortcuts are loaded, and when the user, whichever file the user needs at that particular time, only that file opens up from that profile. So user session is fast, user session startup is fast, user session log off is fast. Why? Because suppose you double click the Excel file is downloaded. Now you made a change to the Excel file. So as soon as you made the change, that change is again loaded right then and there to that profile. So that was a small change. It didn't take that much bandwidth. But then when the user logs off, there is nothing to, there is no large amount of folders with those files need to be at once uploaded to the file server for the next day to be retrieved, right? So log off is fast, working during the session is fast, and log in is fast as well, right? So we can see that according to the Citrix environment, if we make these changes, if we introduce this feature, the user profile, user login experience, user working experience in a big environment, and then user log off experience, everything should be optimized, fast, and the user doesn't have to, it will be a user friendly experience, right? So this is what happens. But in order to really configure that, that's where we need to, it's not a long implementation, it's a short implementation. The thing is that we get to understand why it is different and why is it so important to install that. And there were some problem in retrieving the Citrix Profile Manager for 6.5 because we are there is nowadays the version is 7.6, right? And I would want to finish all the important topics for this, and we can all go to 7.6 as well. Just a bonus class, some sessions, just to check out. Okay, we've been going through all this. What's new in there? So anyway, this is how it is working. I hope you understand that. If there are any questions, let me know. But let's start the lab. It's not that long as well. We're gonna keep coming back to this drawing as well, just to check if anything we're missing. So if we go back to the slide there, okay, there are third-party profile management tools as well if you wanna look it up. RES is one tool, and then there's AppSense, that is one tool. Uh, that not they're actually software, not tool, which are also offering some advanced features as well for Citrix profile management. But we get to know that Citrix profile management itself in the background is working hard to provide user-friendly experience when they are logging in, logging off, and working during the session. That's why they are called lightweight session. Everything involved is being looked at to make the user session the best and optimized. And okay, so this is the third party tools, some of those if you want to check out. But profile management, if you google that, I'm sure there will be hundreds of applications and tools that will be coming up. So there can be folder redirection that we can introduce. Of course, when we work alongside with the group policies, we're gonna make it even better. We don't have to have all the folders uh, uploaded to one server. We can also have this some of the folders which are, suppose document folders always has a lot of documents. You can redirect it to the most optimized and nearest and fastest and high-end file server. But we can work along with the group policy to really get the user experience even better. And then managing user profile, this is what we have done. So allows administrators to select specific parts of a profile to be saved at log on and log off as well. We're gonna, when we go to the profile and we go to the group policy settings, we're gonna see that even we can define, hey, do not just upload documents, just upload documents folder, or just make it available for the user, documents, favorites, downloads, and leave some of the other folders that you think are not required every time the user logs in. So you could just skip some of the folders and only so this will be even more optimized experience for the user. Provides a method of saving personalized user profile settings while decreasing the size of user profiles. So this what we do in Windows environment as well. We try to decrease the size. If we have introduced roaming profiles, we do try to decrease the size of the user profiles. Or if there are permanent employees which have their own computers permanently given to them, then go for local profiles, which are much better. Just give them the that home folder Z drive to save it remotely, whatever they deem very useful or critical. So this is just a picture of enabling profile management, but this is the task we do a bit later. There's that software, and there's a picture for that group policies. Let's get down to the lab. Download profile management. So I tried to download for Citrix 6.5 the profile manager, and it has some new ways to do stuff, while we wanted to implement something that is already being effectively and successfully being used with Citrix 6.5 particular environment. We're going to see a lot of changes in 7.6, and it's going to be a bit challenging as well. But in 6.5, whatever works with 6.5 the best with the Citrix administrator community, I'm just putting it there here, those things. So the new version I tried to install, it did not had that .adm files. We want to implement the profile management through group policy, but we can also implement profile management through .ini file as well. We're gonna see that as well. What do I mean by .ini file? So after this, right? How do we manage profile management from group policy? So guys, I have emailed you in the Citrix Google group that file profile management. So you could download, you can go ahead, check your emails and download that file. It's the version 3.2.2 for profile management, and I had to search it a little, dig out the Citrix environment, and then check some of the forums and Citrix discussion groups, so it took me time. to get it working with this version, this edition of Citrix. Okay, so the new version does not have the .adm file, so that's why we needed to first see what are the policies and extra features that the group policy shows us. So we're gonna be, once you download that file, you will see that there are .adm files inside. So if I go to my folder here, so there's that profile management 322. You should be seeing this one. So I extracted that, and profile management 322 is there. So if I copy that, and this file extracted from this zip file, so I'm just gonna go and take it to my Citrix DC. Software. Okay, so it's profile management 322. So if I double click that, there are ADM templates which we can add to our group policy administrative templates. And then there's that software which we're going to install. So there are two portions to the implementation of profile management. One is implement all the group policies, enable all the group policies we want. Then after enabling the group policies, there has to be a mechanism to actually implement and enforce those policies on a Citrix XenApp servers, on all those servers, right? So enabling the features here in group policy, but implementing and enforcing those features, we have to install profile management on all the Citrix servers, right? So I'm just gonna double click that ADM templates. You must have downloaded that file, and if you extract that, you will see all these. So if we go for ADM templates and go to English, there's that ADM 3.2 version of the template or administrative. So in the group policies, we're gonna see all that. So let's just go to the group policy, administrative tools, and well, it's there already. But administrative tools I always tend to just show again. Group policy management. So I'm just going to create a new policy on the domain itself. So overall, throughout the domain, or it's going to be implemented. So create a GPO and Citrix profile management, and just I'm creating a new policy with this name, Citrix profile management, and then we're going for edit, and this is going to open the policy, computer configuration, policies, and then there are those administrative templates that we can add to. So if I go right click and add remove templates here and click add, and then we have to browse that. So I'm just gonna go to software, profile management, ADM templates, English, and add this. So it's 38 KB, and close. Yeah, there's no refresh here, and there's no F5 here as well. Anyway, so classic administrative templates, and there's that Citrix template here. So if we go, there's that profile management. Although I remember we did load on the domain administrator those policies. In the domain admin policy, default domain policy, we added another Citrix template before, but this is profile management. So if we go through this, there are many features that we can enable. First of all, we have to enable the the main profile management itself. So I'm just going to this first. So in profile management, and the first policy there we see is double click enable profile management. You have to start or activate this feature throughout the, from this group policy throughout the domain. So we have to enable the first profile management here, apply OK. Then process groups, if there are security groups there are which groups that you want this profile management feature to be available for. We can mention those groups here, or as per the recommendation of Citrix administrators. And so if I click disable, it's going to, it says here, if this setting is disabled, profile management processes all users, which is good. So instead of leaving it, I'm going to actually disable that, so it does not look for groups, but it processes all users in the same manner, and offers them the optimized profile management experience. So I'm just going to, I have enabled the first one, I have disabled the second one. Then there are process logons for local administrators that if you want to the local administrators who are connecting every day for configuration. So specify whether logons of members of the local group administrators are processed by profile management. So we can configure that, yes, profile management, please make my administrator account also very optimized and fast, but it's up to us. We're not gonna touch that. Paths to user store. So what does that mean? Paths to user store sets the path to the directory in which the user settings, registry changes, and synchronized files are saved. User store. So Citrix call it user store, and what we created there in the user roaming profile setting, we also the roaming profile we created, right? So if I go there, C drive, oops, not this, user profiles. So that's what Citrix is referring to. Where do you want to save the user sessions? So let me just create another folder, shared folder called, just to see if it really works out of the box, or do we have to make some more tweaking. So Citrix user store, I just put there and make it available on the network. So why I'm doing this, we could see later then that when we install the when we connect a user, since it's going to affect all users now, so does the user session gets stored on this link? If it does, this means that profile management is working fine. This means we could expect all those features, promised features from this. So I'm just gonna put it read and write just to avoid any of the, of course it has to write the profile setting, right? So we have to put it. So Citrix user store and shared on the Citrix DC. So I need to get this path. So backslash Citrix DC, enter, and then Citrix user store. This is the path. So I'm just gonna copy that UNC path and enabled absolute path or path relative to the home directory. I can just put that there. It says just put there with SAM account name percent or profile percent. We can do that, but let's see if it basically creates anything there. So we could, so this is what we use, percent username percent or percent user domain. Environment variables cannot be used except for percent username percent, so this can be used there, or shared folder just like we put there. So let's get down, and I think we have to, of course, not think, but we have to put that in the those user profiles which are taking part in the profile management, or from which we're going to log in from the Citrix environment. We have to put that path there. So the folder Windows stores the user settings in the subfolder called Windows user system environment. Store the user settings to the UNC path. Yep. Okay. So results to John Smith. Yeah, that's what I was explaining, which we just did in the Windows environment. So I'm just gonna keep it there like this, Active write back is what with this setting, files and folders but not registry entries that are modified can be synchronized to the user store in the middle of a session before log off. We have to enable that, right? We That was the main feature that we were talking about, that we don't want the whole thing, the big profile management folder to be copied over the network when the user initiates a log off and retrieved when the user log in, but during the session whatever small bits of changes are there, so we have to enable that active write back, so it will then send those settings or synchronize those changes to the user store, right? So apply, okay. So we have enabled this, disabled this, pass to user store, enable this, and active write back. Actually, percent username percent was there in the path to user store. I did create a lot of screenshots just to make sure that I don't miss a very simple small step, because any small step you miss, there's a lot of problem that. So I'm just going to profile streaming. When I was testing everything, yes, we have to. So I'm just confirming we have to put that percent username percent. That's why I wanted to show you before that how the Windows roaming profile work. So when we put this setting there, because I just remember that otherwise it's gonna work, not gonna work, and we have to then troubleshoot. That's why we should always get prepared with all the steps. Okay, so this is how we should put it, and it's just saying here as well. So apply, okay. You can see that this is the difference. This is the exact line we're putting there, UNC path we're putting there, which we put for the profile path for a normal Windows environment roaming profile feature to be enabled. We're just putting it here as well. Press OK, and then so profile management, these are the most crucial policies to enable the profile management and to enable the main features. Then there is that profile handling, delete locally cached profiles on log off. The best feature, locally cached profiles. I just showed you that. So on XenApp server, do you want automated cleaning when the user logs off? Delete that. Now if the users are being handled by the profile management, Citrix profile management, and if we enable this, it should delete that, right? So automatically it should be cleaning all the mess. Well, right now I need it to create first, so I'm canceling it out, but we know that this policy is here, right? So on Citrix so let me just log in, keep the user logged into that. So user 5, okay. And so by the time we are done with that, at least there's a problem with your roaming profile, you have been logged on with your previously saved local profile. Please see the event log for details. Seriously, you're kidding me, right? Okay, something maybe it's not retrieving or reaching that, this machine is not reaching that UNC path somehow, and it's loading the local profile. But this is the Windows setting, and we're just concerned with, for now, the Citrix side of the setting. So I'll just try to quickly add this. Okay, do not show this. Enter user 05. Let's open two applications here in one session. So okay, delete locally cached profiles on log off, and migrating of existing profiles. If you are having a already a roaming profile or a mandatory profile, there could be a migration of that done if you want, but let's at least prove the basic concepts first. Local profile conflict handling, yes, if there are profile conflict between local and Citrix, then there should be, if you want to enable that, it's gonna solve those conflicts. And template profile, of course, if you have one master template that, okay, whenever the user loads, put that background there, a company wallpaper there, as well as all other settings that you want, remove this folder, that folder. So if you want to have that profile, then you can give that path to that master profile, master copy of the profile, and it's all the profiles will be added. This will be added when the profiles are loaded. All the settings will be added from there, and the profile will be created the first time with this template. But we can go to then advanced settings, and then it's all we need to just redirect folders and cookies, process internet cookies files on log off, or try to see them and delete them. And there are many other settings that we need to really do our homework on, and number of retries when accessing logged files. So log settings, we can enable that. Registry, we can include and exclude some of the registry settings which we do not want to save. One more thing here is file system, and in the synchronization folder, directories to synchronize, if you double click that and enable, then we can add the directories, list of directories to synchronize. We can give the path according to the rules given here. C : /myapp data specifies the folder data within this directory C /myapp. So we can go the Microsoft site, Citrix documents, and dig it out and see how we can put which folders to really exclude. Desktop, exclude, include, specify as a subfolder, include of the folder desktop. So this is the path they are showing, and then they're showing if you want to exclude any folder from being loaded in the session, you can enable this policy, and you can choose which folders should be loaded, should not be loaded according to the user experience. User is complaining about, it's not really optimized, so you can just go ahead and try to choose your directories to synchronize, files to synchronize even, and we can just choose according which file to synchronize, .cnf, myapp, or there are examples for all that, but we just need to know that, okay, what if there is that option of, you can really be very flexible with all these settings and folders to mirror. If you want to mirror the folders as well, that profile management can mirror a folder relative to the profile's root folder. Use the setting for files whose contents, index, data, and where separate instances of the data are likely to exist. So mirroring for the folder is also available. We just needed to know where these options are. And profile streaming, always cache. So profile streaming, with profile streaming, users' profiles are synchronized on the local computer only when they are needed. Registry entries are cached immediately, but files and folders are only cached when accessed by users. So this is also going to make the user experience optimized. Whenever the files are required, only then they will be downloaded. Otherwise, only the profiles folder will be synchronized, but not all the files, right? So I'm enabling that as well. Apply, okay. Timeout for pending area, log files, streamed user profile, groups based, and all the other settings are there, but some of the crucial settings I have tried to enable there. And this is normally all the settings that we can configure for this, just to try to see the result. And once we make all these changes, what do? Okay, so cmd gp update /force. Okay, there's a question in the chat. So there's a policy for offline mapping share drive. We can do that from group policy because it is still part of the Citrix is still one portion. Citrix is using one portion of the group policy, right? So we can add other group policies to that because if you see in the background, this is one group policy that we created. If we go edit and go to preferences here, control panel settings, and in the same policy we can implement lots of other folder options and all the redirection as well, folders here, processing. We can do all the folder redirection or offline mapping shared drive. We can map the shared drive maps is here. It's in the same group policy that we can enable as well for the users. So Citrix is really heavily relying on Windows group policies for proper management of its environment. It just has better technology to offer remote sessions very fast and optimized. That's where it really is a leader in the market. But it relies on the Windows environment for many of the extra features that we offer. That you can. So this is one of those, right? Okay, welcome. So I'm just putting this group policy GP update / force now. Um, okay, yeah. So there is that break time coming real soon. So what I need to do is, so I'll tell you the next steps, which is the installation of. So this is just we were trying to talk about all the profiles, but the next steps are that implement. So run GP update on all XenApp servers. Also install profile management 64-bit on both XenApp servers and restart them. Yeah, it needs that. So after restarting it, we are supposed to see some results, or it should be implemented or enforced. All the group policies should be implemented. So these are the next steps that not technical, not very technical or complicated. So I'm going to run GP update on both servers and install profile management on that. So there's a request for break now. So okay, we can have a break now if you want. So let's come back at 8:43 or 8:50. Break till 8:50. Oh, really? 20 minutes? Okay. So it's 8:53. Okay. 8:53. 8:53 we start. Okay, I'm pausing the video here. Welcome. Well, I'll just use this time to at least put the GP updates. So I have enabled the video. Oops. Frost. So it's force. So profile management installation is a very straightforward task. So let me check if I have it. Yep. Let's put it there. On both servers, so whichever server the user logs into. So it's there. Okay. So 64-bit on both servers. So installing it on both servers should be a pretty straightforward task. Next, accept, next, the same path, next, install. Installing on both. Finish, and there you go. It's going to ask for a restart. So let's restart the first one. Why is it taking so much longer time here? Okay. So install Citrix profile. It's taking longer, much longer. I'll check if everything locally is correct. Enough free space. Okay, cool. So it's installed Citrix Profile Management on the second server as well. Press yes, restart. This one is still restarting, second one will be restarting as well. They are heavy right now, so many labs have been done on those too. So, and the first server is now like 200 gigs, one machine. I think it's 200 gigs. That's a lot. Yeah, 186 gigs. Whoa, that's a heavy machine now. I really need to get rid of this. Okay, so all the profile management settings are done, waiting for the server to restart. And then there is that other way to do the same thing, but we're going to talk about that once we have restarted both and they're both discovered, and we can connect with the applications, and then we can try to connect with the other users as well just to check. Okay, so well, it's restarting. Let me pause. Oh, okay, it's there. So Citrix domain backslash Administrator. We should always disable administrator and put some other, copy it and put some other name. Anyway, we don't have to. Okay, I changed the password today. I had to. Okay, what's going on? Okay, and second one is loading up. Go, 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 go. We need to do shadowing, shadow. And then some latency policies as well. Okay, I should not have recorded all that, right? When I pause it, just resuming now. So, okay, we're back. Citrix domain dot. What am I doing? In fact, I was doing right. Citrix domain backslash administrator. Alright. Man. Ah, I changed the password, of course. Why am I forgetting it again and again? Let's go. So, okay. Weekdays class, Sunday class. Why they do all look so heavy? Anyway, so we're logging in now. First server is up and running with Citrix profile management. Hey, everyone's back, or am I talking to myself? Just kidding. All back. Oh, nobody's back, so there's still a break going on. So let me pause this video and wait for everyone to come back, and then I will start. Yeah, one is good. There's one reply. So now the server is back, and let's just discover them. The server, it's pretty slow because and recording is on as well. So I'm just gonna quickly discover that. So what we need to test here is that is it really alright back? 2 replies. That's great. I hope all others are back as well. Or you were there all this time, right? All others? Just kidding. Oh, just kidding. Yeah, you should be looking at the camera. But okay, so let's get to the login session. Let's check if nothing is broken because of what we did, and put a restart. Sometimes servers, you put that to restart and they're like acting strange and weird, as if we woke them up from the sleep. Oh right, or not right? What? They are not both discovered? Hey, don't tell me. Come on, give me a break, will ya? So I'm just gonna open Citrix second one as well and try to check the services. And startup, automatic, licensing, monitoring, Google update. Nope, everything is good. SQL Server, everything is good. Anything Citrix in the, well, they are disabled. Protocol transition, ICU file signing service, they're not needed. SQL Server services, SQL active directory, well, they're disabled. But what about in manual? So if we go to Citrix 64-bit virtual, CPU utilization management, whenever manual means that whenever it's needed, it's going to be enabled, and whenever it's not needed, they stop it. The Windows stop it. Right. So okay, so services are good, and a quick check on the diagnostics and event viewer. Since I restarted, so okay, so both are not discovering now. So configure and discovery again. XenApp. Oh, errors were occurred when using Citrix, and of course that same mfcom service error. So I'll just restart the mfcom service just to know what's going on. So handshake failed with error, establishing connection with the integrated security. The connection has been closed. Login failed. The login is from an untrusted domain and cannot be used with Windows. Are you kidding me? For MS SQL, login failed. This login is from an untrusted domain, 192.168.200.3. And okay guys, let me just do this thingy, log off, and domain controller. Even if I log off login, doesn't matter. So the password. Okay, refresh the domain settings, and don't give me this untrusted domain thing. So I'm logging off again and just making sure that I'm logging into the correct account, which I did. Citrix domain / administrator. Oh, wrong password. Sorry guys, little troubleshooting, but whenever you restart a server, you always have fingers crossed that, hey, we're restarting a Windows machine. I hope we have a second, or they are highly available. And the live demo, the beauty of that live demo is that you get to troubleshoot. You need to troubleshoot it as quick as possible. The new password, and I'll just go for mfcom service and try to restart that. Firewalls are good. Yeah. So now the checklist of everything. So ns lookup, firewalls are off, ns lookup, cookup, oh, look up is good or not? Right. Yeah. Yeah, good. 201. It's communicating at least name resolution and should be picking up. Oh, okay. So I had internet card up, so it is picking the DNS of my home DSL router. Okay. NS lookup tells me disable the internet NIC. Does it fix that? NS lookup, because the farm is configured on the first one, right? And name resolution must be working fine. And what about you, Mr. DC? Are you okay? NS lookup. Well, yeah, it just says that, hey, I am the DNS, so don't bug me. So I say, okay, you're good. Name resolution is working fine. Okay, so now they should be discovering fine. If it was just NS lookup and NS, name resolutions must be working. Ouch. Okay. Double click and Citrix discovery. Double click bold items. Don't tell me. Okay, MFCOM service. Where's that? And any clues, guys? Yeah. I mean, like, yeah. See, I should be fixing it, and I'm asking. So I'm saying, but anyway, I'm always welcome with any kind of things that maybe not coming in my mind, and you might be thinking about that. It always happens. So we should never be shy to ask for any input. That did you check this? Did you check that? Etc. etc. And sometimes if we are not, off the top of our head, we may be missing something. So somebody else tries to think about that. Okay, MFCOM service restart here as well. Okay, come on, start it here, MFCOM, and start it there. Not yet, actually. Okay, so let's check it out again. No tips, huh? Come on, give me some tips, guys. This happens. I mean, your server could stop discovering each other anytime, right? What would you do? This? You gotta be kidding me. Okay, why? What was the last change we made? The secret profile management? Yes. Should it break our environment? Could be possible. Could be possible. That's the only change we made, right? So control panel, because everything seems to be fine other than version, size, install date. So what was the latest thing I installed? This profile management. Then I restart and it broke. Should not break, but it did. Trying again. Guys, what do you suggest? Take this out? You know what? I used another version of that. I wish anyone was doing this with me, but nobody's doing that, so I'm all alone. I have to face that myself. I am the last admin standing. Okay, just some dialogues. Sorry. Yeah. Okay, so what's the rule of the thumb? Unchange what you changed last time, because they both should not be just broken. Right? So okay, I'm unchanging the first one. Should I? Yes, go ahead, change that. So I'm going to check once more. Everything seems to be working fine. Okay, Mr. Uninstall. Seriously, this is not good, but ah, okay. That was a quick decision. Yes. Go back. Shall I install the second one as well? If I uninstall on first one and it discovers itself at least, that would tell me that I should uninstall from the second one as well. Or shall I just go ahead and uninstall? Okay. So this is the version. Come on, come back and tell me if you're fixed or not. Are you discovering yourself or not? Come on. Don't do this. So there was that profile management with for 6.5 and there's this profile management for Citrix 5.4. So we'll just know it now. Citrix. I uninstalled this Citrix management from one of the Citrix XenApp servers and then restarted it and logging in. It should at least discover itself if profile management broke it. So we got rid of profile management. Although we get the idea what it's supposed to do, but we don't like what it did. Okay, that was funny. And it's good that we are trying that on our test environment, but it was supposed to work and it should not break the environment. So it's loading now. We get that app center. Well, all the services should be loaded first, then I could get the app center working and then go for okay, it's still loading. Go. Move it. Okay, app center launch. Discover yourself at least. If you're discovered correctly, then it's the profile management. And guys, I have to get you the profile management, and there's a second way to implement the profile management. Now I know why did the Citrix offer the second way as well. Okay. Anyway, discovering. Okay, both are not discovered again. Well, the farm one has this, and it has a SQL server as well. Seriously. For the whole thing, I have to remove. Sometimes when we have to do this, seriously. Well, it's not gonna discover itself when the farm server, the server that's hosting the farm, is down. Sorry guys. If it happens or something breaks, it, whenever you restart, so expect the unexpected. You know what? I should put it to pause. So guys, we're troubleshooting and I'm putting the video to pause until we figure out, or you want to see the troubleshooting recorded, so we could do that. Okay, it was faster now. Citrix domain /administrator. So the form host is coming up with the SQL Server that is desperately needed. SQL Server when it's really, and there were many event viewers regarding SQL Server. So I removed the profile management from both of these servers. Seriously. Although if it still doesn't discover, at least we could still go for some other things that requires where they are and what do they do, and but we could not put them to test, I guess. Hopefully it's going to work, but let's just check it out. So yeah, it's gonna contact team now. Okay, App Center. Oh, wow. I should not have restarted? Seriously? Don't tell me. Okay, calling all admins, calling all admins. Woo! Calling all admins. Resuming. So I tried to put, for the record of the video, my both servers are not discovering after installing that profile management and restarting, and I have uninstalled the profile management, disabled that group policy for profile management, but it seems like that has nothing to do with this. As soon as I restarted both servers, the whole Citrix environment broke. So trying to check, right now what I did was I put the IMA service from network server to local system service on both servers, and now I'm restarting that. Before that I restarted both servers and then restarted the DC. Now restarting both servers again, Citrix servers, and now logging in Citrix domain /administrator, the other password. But so in one of the Citrix forums there was that IMA service, and and he's also suggesting the same thing. So okay, I hope I don't have to recreate the whole environment. No. Well, I was planning to do that, but not that soon. Okay. Administrator. Okay. Let's check it out now. So IMA service was changed from network to local. That's the only thing, and profile management was uninstalled. The group policy for profile management was disabled. Restarted the server several times, so all the users are screaming on me right now, and my boss is screaming on me as well. So if had it been a production environment, this would have been the case. That why did you do that? You know, I'd be calling all my friends. Hey, did you see that? And googling every corner of the internet for if anyone got this error, and going for all the services and going for all the oh, it worked. Okay, Ali, high five. Oh, sorry, high five. Okay. Hey, it worked. Woohoo. So, oh, yeah, high five. So this is, and okay, thanks, man. So this was, so now the environment is back up. All right. Woo. So we're back. Okay, guys. After doing all this troubleshooting, um, doing the troubleshooting together really saves a lot of time. So don't be shy to ask for help. Maybe at certain point you can't remember some of the options, uh, which was easy, or you were considering at other times as, yeah, I would remember that. So when we share the troubleshooting tips. Okay, so already it's 9:38. So let's get down to, thank you Ali for this tip. Reminder, it was so cool at the right moment. So what I did was, so IMA service from network to the local system. Then they both the servers started communicating. What we wanted to see was that if we implement that, profile management, does the user sessions really get activated? So I'm gonna double check that when off, when we are off. But we do understand the Citrix profile management concept. I need to show this on this Sunday class. So I will have to work on it first. I will install the profile management again on this environment, and then we'll try to see if because of that it was broken. But they're uninstalled right now, profile management from both servers, so we don't know yet. When I install again and it breaks again, then I would know if it was so, but it doesn't make sense that that would cause the server discovery to fail. Anyway, so I'm just going to go ahead and talk about that other feature, not other feature. So one way we can implement profile management is through group policy. We went through all the options. The second way to implement is through ini file. This ini file configuration just means that if you do not want to use the group policy, then all those settings in the group policy that we made or activated, those all settings are available in the locally saved ini file in every XenApp server as well. So where is that ini or initialization file located inside the XenApp server that's going to do the same configuration of profile management that the group policy based settings did? So for that, there is that path that we have to see. So program files, Citrix, user profile manager, if we have user profile manager, which we don't have now, but the path is this. So I'm just going to drag it down here. I'm going to install that profile manager again, and we're going to check if it did not break my environment. But if we go to the ini file, this is a configuration file here, that if you double click in notepad, you will see all those group policy related settings here as well. You just need to change that configuration file, and it's going to manage the profile management from a local file as well, the XenApp server. And but the main thing is that if you have 10 XenApp servers, so the ini file has to be copied to all XenApp servers, and whenever you make a change in this configuration file, you have to again copy it to all the XenApp servers. So this is the second way of implementing profile management, but this happened so soon. So okay, we understand the user profiles, the profile management, and then we had that troubleshooting as well. So now let's go to the other smaller but equally important feature of shadowing. And do we have the we have the hotfix, and so I have to just go there. So this is another cool and quick feature where we can actually see the sessions of the other users, or we can shadow the sessions, or we can actually join the sessions of the other users who are logged in and have opened those sessions. So shadowing, there are many uses of that. So you can just remotely assist the users, but there are how do we really use the shadowing session in our Citrix environment? You can view another user session on another device by using shadowing. Yeah, when shadowing, you can monitor the session activity as if you were watching the screen of the client device that initiated the session. If configured, you can also use keyboard mouse to control the user's keyboard and mouse remotely in the shadowed session. So it's not that complicated concept. So I'll, as they say, cut down to the chase and start showing or putting up the screen there. Let me just put and minimize all this. So if there is a session established between the users, so I'm going to connect to through user 5 to the server, and then we'll try to create, once the session is created, we'll try to see if we can actually be able to shadow a user session. Although we did enable, when we were installing or adding the XenApp server, we left the shadow option enabled, but there were three more options to that shadow which we did not enable. So let's see if we can basically do the shadowing, and do we have to go ahead and enable extra options for shadowing. And there's that one application for shadowing as well, that is installed with the Citrix installation, that will actually let us shadow the sessions. But first we have to see, I think connecting with your 5 on Citrix 2, and once the session is established, it's trying to search after so much troubleshooting. It should be also shaken. I could just put it again, or let me just close that, and it should, I think, discover first. So I will quickly log off, and because I restarted that domain controller as well, so logging off and logging in would, or should really work. So it should re-authenticate itself, user 5. Now I'm just going to try to shadow the session by first creating a session, and then okay, there's a continuous problem with user profile here. Okay, so we're back, user 05. Dot local calculator, opening the session, notepad, opening. Let's see if both are opening fine. Yep. Okay, so the session is established, and it's connected to the server 2. If I refresh that, the user is okay, user is not showing, but the session should be showing. And I logged in from actually user 05, but it's still not showing session. Oh, seriously? It's connected to actually Citrix mem01. Okay, and if I right click that, do you see somewhere shadow here? But does it work? So shadow, and hide invalid key combinations, select any keys or none, uh, and select the final key. So select a hotkey to stop shadowing, right? If you need a hotkey, you can stop shadowing the session by typing the selected hotkey combination, click OK to start shadowing. um, so invalid combinations, or just press control and it's going to hide. So if I press OK now, there's that session opening, and it is that Windows 2008 on mem01 recording. Yep, it is running, right? It is running. So I'm just going to shadow. I'm trying to shadow the session of a user which is logged in, administrator, and the new password. This product, yeah, whatever. So if I go back to the user session, the administrator is requesting to control your session remotely. Do you accept that? So the user 5 gets this. So if you say yes, there should be, yeah, this currently being shadowed. So on the user side, this is going to keep on showing, and there you go. So that session is still there, and so hello, what is the problem, sir? And if you go to the user side, that's what. And so okay, this is a normal shadowing that is going on. So on the server we can see there's a shadow session opened. If I just open another user and create the session for that as well, or I should have put the Citrix receiver on the domain controller to have extra sessions uh, created, but this is one of the way we can just session, and there is still showing currently being shadowed. So I can just click stop shadowing there, while I and you as a Citrix administrator and the user both are looking at the same window. So we can I can assist the user while the user knows that I'm connected. So if we log in from another session, I logged in from user 05. So if I log in from user 01 and log in, oh seriously, I need that to put the key or slmgr it. Okay, so when it's there, it's going to, oh, I put the wrong profile for everyone. Should not have done that. Okay, it's gonna take time. So one more thing is that there is another application, small application, that you can actually publish for only the power users or domain admins, and they can start shadowing each other users session as well, colleagues session as well. So I'm just opening a second user a second I'm just gonna try to open a second session here as well, uh, but they're on Citrix server apart from this session. So I'm gonna stop sharing now there, and it's going to stop watching this session. But if we go and want to use an application for multiple shadowing and some extra options there, Citrix also offers this application, administrative tools, Citrix, and then administrative tools again, and there's that shadow taskbar. So if we open this application, and we have to first really get authenticated for that. So okay, So there is that taskbar on the top that appears for the shadow. Okay, there's still, if I click that and click control, that was a hotkey, but anyway, closing this window will disconnect you from your applications. Are you sure you want to continue? If I go to my session, it is all ready. So press OK. At least the administrator's session is disconnected, but the user session is still connected, which is okay. So I'm on member server 1 now, and there is that shadow taskbar appearing now, which was not there before, but we enabled it. So if I click shadow now, now whichever users on whichever servers are connected should be showing here that this user is connected to this server, this user is connected to this server, and then you can actually put you can actually create that shadow session. So if I just copy this from here to the second one, and so I wanted to create second session. So can I connect to multiple sessions at the same time? That's what I wanted to show here. If I go from user 01 and Citrix domain dot local, enter. So I have user 1 and user 5 logged in, and can I open TeamViewer as well? Nope. Okay, WinRAR, nope. So Notepad and Calc only. Okay, so well, I should just close Calc on user 2, user 1, and user 5 has both applications open here. Now let's try to shadow these sessions. So well, server mem01 is showing both user 1 and user 5, and 02 is not showing anyone. If I want to add the shadow session for user 1, and user 1 is connecting from Win7 client, user 5 add is connecting from this. So I have added 2 users there, and I press OK now. So the screen for Win7 client is showing to me now, and again all the warnings, I think, and the authentication. So I wanted to drag this screen. The group or resource is not in the correct state to perform the requested operation. There's that error. Oh, and it really, so let me just try one session then. User 1, press OK. Let's see if the shadow taskbar really works with one user at a time. cshadow.exe has been executed from the Citrix folder. Although we are able to open 2 sessions or even 3 sessions, right now there is some problem here that it did not open. So I'm trying to shadow. Okay, this is, without this it's not gonna open there even if we keep waiting for hours. And there's some shadow fields. The request to control another session remotely was denied because I did not click in the proper time, so it denied that. So close, yeah, and shadow again. So user 1, I should have just clicked it there. So I am requesting this again, so it should pop up now. Not this one. Okay, I'm again asking for that session. So shadow taskbar is more convenient when it comes down to, so now the request is on the other Windows 7 machine. I press yes. So the user's consent is there, the only notepad is available there while this is going on. And while this is going on, Citrix mem, seriously, I just minimized it. Okay, there it is. So one session. So if I minimize that, this is a session, but do I still want to try at least to go for user 5 while the first one is established? um, if I go and try to open this session and wait for the request to come to this second machine, um, okay, go ask the user 5 as well. So this is, it did not ask for user 5, or it did not reach till now. So if I minimize this, user 5 as well as the user, okay, it's still trying to open it. Let me just, okay, logging off. Seriously, did it ask on user 5? Nothing. So when we go for multiple sessions, there is some problem we're facing, and actually we are logged in to which, if I go for computer, uh, we're seeing, so this is our own server that we are seeing right now because I minimized all things. So we lost both sessions when we are trying to do this. Okay, if there's calc application available, can we just see it from user 1? So we uh, have enabled the session for a user's desktop. Now I have just selected the application of, I think, user 1, and it's still asking for user 1 that the application, uh, through application, that the calculation was open. So I tried to open the session from there. It also lets me do that, and the application is available there, but this is just application showing here, right? So if I stop this and go back to the whole session, does the whole desktop show me that is available there? The request is here on Windows 7. I go back to mem01. So yes, the application is showing. I just wanted to check again if I can do a multiple session. I'm just gonna do a last attempt here. Still adding the user. So now so we need to work out on this, that why isn't opening 2 sessions. Maybe I'm taking up too many resources for that server. As soon as I open the second session, well, so there are two things that I wanted to show. That there is that shadow taskbar, and then there is one session that we can use for Citrix, for any application. So there's a question there: if we use shadowing all user profile copy, that is why it takes time. Yep. So the profile is loaded. It locked off. So we are again on our server. um, Server resources have to be seen. No, it's not about if the user profile is heavy and that's why it's not opening. It is, I have to see that error and I have to really go to the Citrix forums and check it, but it should not be about user heavy profile, that it's not you know opening 2 sessions. There was that error that really did not let us do multiple sessions, but we can do multiple sessions even from Citrix server 2. uh, so yeah, we can just start that, but the main thing is that we should put it to test and see if there are any errors, and then try to know resolve those errors and try to, and we can also publish this connection from that shadow taskbar to publish that application to the administrators only. When they open the session, they should have this shadow taskbar application available, and then they can shadow all the other users from wherever they are logging in, only the administrators. So there's not much other than, you can specifically go shadow one session or go for shadow taskbar, and it's supposed to do multiple sessions, but we need to find out that error, why is it coming. So two things we did today. One is profile management. Second is shadowing. Profile management, I still have to do a little work just to check what happened, but these are all the steps to implement the profile management. For the testing, we should implement it at home and try to test if it is logging in slowly and fast. It's logging in fast, or if the that shared folder we created for the profile management store, is it populated after, is it really using the profile management traffic and features when we log in from any Citrix server. So try to use that at home, do that at home. Let me know if you tried that and you're stuck with something, and we can try to work on it together. So try to do your labs, guys, and let me know if there are any problems going on. And I'm gonna send this video so we did two labs. One is shadow and one is was not that big deal, but we can enable other features of shadow as well. So then we can try multiple sessions as well. As far as I remember, if when we were joining the servers at that time, we had that option which we were supposed to enable for shadowing. I don't want to disjoin right now these are so if I go for edit configuration now, remove the server now, use with system imaging provision, no. Server roles, no. Review setup information, I don't think it's gonna give me that. So if we remove one server from the form and then add that server again, then the shadow options again appear, and we should be clicking all three sub options of that main shadow option. Then we should be able to do the multiple sharing, right? So try this at home and send screenshots, and engage me wherever you're getting any problem with Citrix environment and these two labs. So let's meet on Sunday morning, and hopefully this would be one of the last labs for 6.5. Then I will email you all to create that new environment, installed Windows 2012, and installs Citrix Zen Desktop, Zen Server for 7.6. I'll try to send all the screenshots for that, and let's try some of the overview there for that lab as well. And we can try to have some more features of this by this Sunday, and hopefully Sunday and Tuesday we could finish the 6.5 related features and go for the latest one as well, just to have an overview of that. And there's that SSM class which will be starting soon, so anyone interested, let us know, me and Manzur. Okay guys, so it's a good night for today, and we just try to do your labs at home, and let me know if there are any problems, right? So good night for tonight.